All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Dakota Collegiate Rocket League action. We have a Division D matchup between Nebula and Hardstuck Incorporated. It's gonna be an absolute fun one, but I do have my main man, Skull Adam, here with me. Thank you for joining me on this cast, my guy.
Oh, Hayden, I am so locked in right now, you don't even understand.
I love that from you. I absolutely love that from you. But as I mentioned, a Division D matchup is on the scales here. I'm super excited to get into this one, and I don't know. I'm really excited. One of these teams has never been on stream before, so it's gonna be absolutely fun to watch, to see them here on stream again. So I'm gonna go ahead, toss it over to this screen, and look at some of the Division D standings here. I mean, the two teams that are playing are Nebula and Hardstuck. So Hardstuck, they are a 1-1 on the season, and they're actually leading in a couple of very important stat regions here, which is assists and shots per game. I mean, the 8.13 shots per game is a really big one that stands out for me. I mean, that is absolutely crazy to be laying on over 8 shots a game. That is super hard to defend against as a opponent. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm getting 8 shots per game against me, it's gonna be a rough day, Adam. It's gonna be a rough day.
Oh, absolutely. If your net's getting peppered that much, it's one of them is bound to go in, and that is basically just a law of averages at that point. And it's, I mean, if you can throw a lot of shots on the net, that is going to be absolutely huge for keeping pressure and just keeping the flow of the game going for your team.
Yeah, and then Nebula, they are leading in one section, or actually tied more of, and that is saves per game. So they're 0-2. They end up getting 3-0 swept, 2 times in a row in a week, but it looks like they're almost a very defensive team. I mean, 4 saves a game is absolutely crazy. So to see that coming from them, maybe they need to try and find a little bit more offense somehow, some way. But I am going to go ahead and toss it up to the first team, the individual team. That is going to be Nebula, who are owned to Adam. I'll have you talk a little bit about these guys.
Yeah, so Nebula's got my boy Lone Isa, everyone knows him. Sloop John B98, I think he's in the running for best name in DCRL this season. Then we got KM King 99. Not a lot of red on the stat sheet, but there is one, and it is demoed per game. Not something you'd want to be leading in, but you know what? That's all right. At least they got league leading in something. Yeah, I mean, just balanced team overall. Isa shooting 30%. That's pretty respectable. Other than that, I'm basically me and K-Tool called it into existence last night when we were talking about Alley. I'm gonna call into existence now. Sloop John B98. He's gonna go off tonight. He's gonna get those goals per game skyrocketed up.
Hey man, all I know is our man Sloop John. I mean, he's from NDSU. Before I graduated, the last lab night that I went to, he was there and he was keeping up, with some guys that were up in Division A. So it baffles me to see him in that 0 column for the goals per game. I know he has it in him. It's just a matter of if he can, keep that going and try and get some offensive pressure going, because this team desperately needs it. So I mean, we saw it. I'll toss it back over. We're waiting on one guy here. So I'll toss it back over to the team stats here, which is gonna be this one. I guess. Sorry, I don't think I've talked about Hardstuck yet. Sorry. No? I'm getting caught up in things. Sorry, I'm getting bombarded with DMs. Adam, will you go over Hardstuck for me too while I kind of figure this one out?
I suppose I can. we got Beach Lupa, the real Robo, not the fake Robo, the real Robo. And we got Drewski. These boys are, I think definitely a great team when it comes to vibes and mental. They seem like they flow together really well. We got tied between Bean Chalupa and Drewski for assists per game, and that is absolutely huge. Something you really got to keep an eye on. And remember, this is the team that has 8 shots per game on the net. So not necessarily surprising that that the assists per, or we have 2 people tied for leading in assists per game, but we got the real Robo shooting 53% while averaging over a goal per game. That is crazy.
Dude, who the hell is leading in shooting percentage if 53% isn't league leading? I mean, that's crazy. That's honestly crazy to me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I don't know if you mentioned it already because I wasn't really fully paying attention to what you were saying. No disrespect. But I mean, the real Robo, he's the reigning champ. I don't know if you mentioned that yet, but he is the reigning Division D champ. He was playing crazy the last time we watched these guys play. This Hardstuck Incorporated team did not look anything like a Division D team the last time we saw them. So I am super excited to see this team play. And I know Nebula are 0-2, but this team is definitely going to be a big test for them to see if they can try and make something work. If they can make something work against this Hardstuck team, that proves that anybody, literally anybody, is going to be able to take this championship at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a very big statement game for Nebula, and honestly, I have faith in them. I think they can do it. I'm putting my prediction down right now. Hate it, love it, do whatever you're wrong with it. I don't care. Nebula's winning in 5.
In 5? Holy.
Yep.
Man, I don't know. I definitely can't. I'm not going to be able to back that. The stats. I mean, going back to it, I mean, Nebula, they have 0.67 goals per game. That is one of those stats that I have a hard time arguing, for, right? They absolutely need to find some form of offense here, if they want pretty much any chance of taking this one. So that's a bold prediction from you. I'm gonna go ahead and oppose you. I'm gonna say Hardstuck is gonna 3-0 sweep this right here, right now. I think with the performance I saw them. With the performance I saw in last week, I think this Hardstuck team is gonna absolutely roll. So I don't know, man.
Girls got no faith, no faith.
But
gotta believe
predictions are up.
man.
They're gonna close shortly here, so make sure you get those in. But ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go ahead and get into game number 1 here between Nebula and Hardstuck.
Yeah, like I said, you got to believe in something, and I am all for the underdog story. I got faith in my boys Nebula, but Real Robo finds the back of the net in 13 seconds.
Yeah, that one will just shut you up real quick there. I mean, Hardstuck, like you said, 13 seconds. Real Robo, the reigning Division D champion, slots that one, and right off the bat, Hardstuck looking absolutely deadly already, but we are only 13 seconds in. Lone Isa gonna try and clear this one into this orange end. Speed Chalupa gets a nice clear out. Lone Isa's forced to drop back. KM King, who's a newcomer to the league, gets a nice pop. Sloop John, oh my gosh. See, how is that guy, just based off of that one play that I just saw, how does this guy right here have no goals in 2 weeks? That baffles me. I know this guy has it in him, and I definitely understand the hopium here. I mean, Nebula, they're not a bad team. I definitely expect this team to only get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, people forget, this is only week 3. There's a lot of season left, and anything can happen. But I would like to point out, I think Sloop John's stats are a little skewed now looking at this. I mean, look at that's a ripper of a shot. There just happens to be 2 people in the net. This guy is going to go off today, and I'm calling it right now.
I absolutely hope so, but the game is tied up 1-1. Short succession here. Bean Chalupa, the captain for this Hardstuck team, trying to get something going here. Not able to do so as Lone Isa carries one out. Does get a beat around 1, but Real Robo taking his time here. He gets the ball on his car, gets a nice flick up, makes KM King a little bit nervous there, but looks like Sloop John comes in and reconvenes that ball. This one's going to bounce off the sidewall here. Real Robo, though, gets a nice touch, keeps that one out of the way of KM King. This one's going to find its way in to this blue end. Sloop John forced to make a little bit of an awkward touch here. Pops it around Bean Chalupa, tries to get a pop around Robo, but this one's sending its way into the midfield. 2 players go for Hardstuck, and no one goes. Lone Isa with a huge clear downfield. KM King trying to get around to it, but ends up getting an awkward clear out of his opponent's end.
Sloop John takes good possession there, but Bean Chalupa does get the dunk. We need a good touch here from Nebula. Bean Chalupa does get one put on, but that is going to be a great save coming out on the defensive half here. Robo throws one on. That's not going to find the back of the net. Chalupa's there, but a 50 in front of the net will take care of that. Now the ball is just sitting around midfield. No one wants it. Bean Chalupa trying to get a back pass to Real Robo, who gets a little bit of an unfortunate miss there, but Chalupa is back with 70 boost going up the wall. He's going off the ceiling. Are we going to see a ceiling shot here? Could he do it? That's a great pass, though. Doesn't find the back of the net. Is anyone there? Robo is, but that's going to go off the backboard as well. and Drewski's shot won't find the back, and then either a little bit of shooting woes coming out here from Hardstuck to start it out.
Yeah, that ceiling shot attempt by Bean Chalupa there was fantastic. A huge cut by Sloopjon, but doesn't quite get around the Real Robo there, as he does get a piece of it. Bean Chalupa gonna get a huge center here. Real Robo was up so early, maybe a fake, but KM King gets a huge save. Bean Chalupa does go up here, but I don't think anything's gonna happen from that one. Sloopjon, a huge toucher on Real Robo here, as Sloopjon tries to get it midfield, and this car, I mean, just based off of the car control I'm seeing from this guy, I just can't believe this guy doesn't have a goal yet. I hope to God we do see one here on stream. Lone Eyes, the captain, trying to get one going. Real Robo does shut that one down. 2 minutes left to go here, and we're still tied up 1-1.
Yeah, that's a dangerous ball. Chalupa puts one on. That's a little bit wide. Izo with a great clear out. He's going to go up the mid wall with about half a tank of boost. He's got a good lookout mid. He throws one up, but doesn't find the angle. That angle is so tough. I don't blame him for getting the miss on that. Sloopjon throws one on. But Chalupa with a little bit of a double commit from Hardstuck will get the clear out. Izo, can he read it? He cannot. Sloopjon is there. He is going to commit. He throws it in. It's not in. Did he get there? Is Izo? Is anyone there? Drewski is there for the clear out. Now Hardstuck coming back on offense. 0 boost from Robo. Doesn't pick up the corner either. Chalupa throws it on. A good bump coming out. Izo's a little awkward, but good comms coming out from Nebula as they clear the ball out of their own half.
Man, Sloopjon had a couple of great opportunities. And just some great defense coming out from Hardstuck on the opposite end here, as Real Robo gets a huge clear, almost finds another touch there. Might have an open net here, but a crazy save coming from Sloopjon right on the goal line there to keep that one out of his own net. This one's going to find its way over to the sidewall here. KM King doesn't have any boost, but he has so much time here. Going to try and get a 50 on Bean Chalupa. Can't quite find it though. Real Robo doesn't get a touch, but Bean Chalupa comes in for a nice reconvene. A good demo here. Drewski almost has a goal there. That was almost open. A 1v1 situation, and Sloopjon finds the first one of his DCRL season 4. Huge stuff coming from Sloopjon as he finds his first.
That's my man. That's exactly what this team needed. A great 1-0 lead going in here for Nebula. If they take this game 1, this is going to be absolutely huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a fumble.
I'll just stop talking.
Oh man, Caster Curse coming out. Can we get anybody that's listening to this, please put some Caster Curse emotes in the chat. Hardstuck strike back, you know, not 5 seconds after the after that Nebula goal from Sloopjon, and they tie it right back up. 45 seconds to go. They're gonna try and find something to get going here. KM King gonna try and get one of his own, but Real Robo goes missing, but Bean Chalupa ends up getting a perfect pass up to him. It works out perfect. Real Robo though gonna give this one up as Sloopjon almost lets that one get past him there, as Lone Eyes gets maybe a nice clear. This one pitches. Oh my god, dude, I'm sorry, but that was very, very lucky for Hardstuck. There was the right person in the right time there on that crazy pinch. That might have been on the game sealing goal, but 14 seconds to go, a goal, and this one's still tied.
Sloopjon looking for the shot. Good, he's gonna find the corner, and it's not. Goes off the post, and Nebula can't convert on it either. And with only a couple seconds left, we need to see a goal here. We're gonna have OT in game 1. Drewski trying to get something going. Isaac's gonna smartly let it bounce, and we have overtime in this game 1. Golden goal situation here. A little bit of an awkward kickoff coming out. I don't know what was going on there. That's going to go off the ceiling. That's really awkward. Sloopjon with a great save. That's going to bounce up in front of the net, though. We need another one. That one finds the top corner. Who else but Robo for Hardstuck? And what an awkward overtime here to send it out on game 1.
Yeah, for Nebula, it's so unfortunate. I mean, it was a well-played game from both of these guys, but they had so many great opportunities, but Hardstuck able to stick to it, and they, some great defensive showings there. I mean, 4 saves out of the captain, Bean Chalupa, couple out of the Real Robo, who ultimately ends up slotting that last one to get them that first game win here. But Nebula played a great game. I think that game could have went either way. I mean, it's an overtime, so obviously, it really could go either way, but I mean, if I'm going to be real with you, Adam, I think Nebula really played the better game there.
I think they did too. It's just, that's the thing with overtime. You just get one lucky bounce or one lucky thing go your way and you got it. I think if I'm Nebula here, I just shake that one off. I mean, like you said, they played extremely well, especially for being the winless team in this series. I mean, Sloopjon just taking control of the team. There's a lot of faith here for these Nebula boys. I think they got this.
Yeah, what would be really funny is something I just thought of is, what if the stats were just wrong and Sloop John actually is just like goated and has a bunch of goals? That would be really funny and we're just hyping it up for nothing. But makes me a little bit more interested in this game, right? I mean, we have somebody that just got their, potentially, hopefully their first goal, as long as we're not being lied to. But anyways, game number 2 starting off here between Nebula and Hardstuck after a huge Hardstuck win in game number 1. 15 seconds in. Bean Chalupa. I'm trying to get this one mid. Drewski is the last man back here. Lone Isa trying to capitalize on that mistake there, but not able to wrap his car around that one. Sloop John might be the last man back, but Lone Isa with a great early challenge to cut Sloop John a little bit of slack here. He's looking a little bit awkward here. I don't know if he has much boost. Maybe he has a little bit in the tank. Lone Isa now going to go up for a touch of his own, but nobody from Hardstuck up. And already 40 seconds in, both these teams playing a little bit slower than that game number 1.
Yeah, I think they're both just catching breath from that wild game 1 we had. But we see Bean Chalupa throwing on his Robo going to turn. He is going to whip back around. The save isn't there. Who's going to be there first? Nebula is there first, but can't get the clear out far enough. Bean Chalupa does get credit for the goal. I mean, that's just a laser heading towards the net.
Yeah, Sloop John not able to find the touch. And KM King and Sloop John combine and no, KM King and Lone Isa combine and unfortunately own goal there as they go down early here in game number 2. Looks like Bean Chalupa gonna try and find this one mid, ends up hitting it straight past his teammate Drewski there. Real Robo ends up goes missing and not able to find the touch there. This one's dangerous. KM King is there, not able to find the touch, and I definitely know that he's gonna want that one back.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are those are the ones that keep you up at night. Wake up in cold sweats at 3 a.m. I mean, hey, that's just the way it is.
Are you speaking from personal experience with the 12% shooting or whatever?
No.
The flashbacks come back.
Oh man. Anyways, Isa's gonna throw one up in the mid here. Robo will have a free touch. Gets a little bit of control touch up on the wall. Cam King is up and a little bit awkward. Doesn't get a touch on it either. Sloop John will beat out Robo in their own half here, but Bean Chalupa trying to keep the midfield pressure on. He beats out 1, he beats out 2. Can he get the pop over 3? He does, but that's not quite towards the net. It's going to roll into the corner. No worries there for Nebula's back end. Except Juicy's come flying in. Cam King with a good pinch off the wall. Now Sloop John a little bit awkward once again. Does get a good 50. That's going to pop out into mid, but Hardstuck is just killing them in this midfield right now.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I have noticed too is the speed at which Bean Chalupa, the captain for Hardstuck, plays at. I would love to see his average speed in each game, because this guy just zooms around the field and he's definitely a little bit faster than everybody in Hardstuck. Get their second there, Drewski, with a nice redirect there. It might have been just going in no matter what. Or no, sorry, I thought he was a redirect right at the end there. Sloop John tried to get the save, not able to get back to it. And Hardstuck find their second here of game number 2.
Yeah. Quick 2-0 lead for Hardstuck. Nebula just needs to get a good clear, needs to get it out of their half and let the offensive pressure will them the victory. But right now they're just having some tough times getting clears. That pinch will clear out. Robo is the only one back. He will go up off the wall. Cam King thought about going off the wall, but decides to fake it instead. Leave it for Isa, but Isa doesn't get the touch. Cam King with a good pass out in the mid. Sloop John once again looking a little bit awkward in this back half. Drewski is up for the aerial, but doesn't get the shot. A bump coming out just leaves the ball there in Nebula's half. Now Chalupa gets a good pop over one. That pass is coming out. Is it going to be in? It is. Who else but Robo?
A great combination play from this Hardstuck team. A great setup by Bean Chalupa, and an even better beat there by Real Robo, right on top of Lone Isa's head, and they get their third here. And it looks like they're starting to warm up a little bit here in game number 2 after a little bit of a slower start. But now Hardstuck starting to feel themselves a little bit. Not looking so Hardstuck right now. That's all I'm going to say.
No, absolutely not. Robo tries to throw another one on. Isa is there for the 50. He's going to get a good pop-up off the wall. Gets the flip into it. Can he get anything off of it? He will not. Chalupa first one to the ball. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Just goes for the pinch, but gets the dunk. Drewski is there. Doesn't get the touch. Isa capitalizes on it and gets a good clear out. Cam King throws one on. That's a little bit awkward for Robo, who doesn't get the touch. Isa is up. That's rolling up off the backboard. Robo will get the touch and clear it into the corner. Sloop John is there. Does get a pop over 1, a pop over 2. Doesn't get the flip into the ball, though. And just a little bit of a corner battle coming out here from both teams. That one is on net, but it's going to be a little bit wide from Lone Isa. That is rather unfortunate for a Nebula team. Still searching for their first goal here.
Yeah, a minute left to go here. Not completely over yet. It's a lot of a Rocket League doopy played here as Sloop John trying to find a touch, but a little bit awkward here. Lone Isa awkward himself, and this defense is falling apart right now for Nebula, but Hardstuck fortunately do not capitalize on it fortunately for Nebula. This one's going to bounce up high, but Sloop John gets a huge pass, or a huge clear out, getting some space and puts a nice 50 on net there, but good save coming out from the third man, Drewski. KM King gonna try and put a shot of his own on, but denied by Real Robo. This one's gonna send its way over to this left side of the field. A couple fakes coming out, allows Real Robo to get a nice clear out, but KM King with a huge clear. And 30 seconds to go, and this one's looking a little bit bleak for Nebula, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. They need something to happen right now if they want a chance at taking this game too. But Sloop is going to try to throw one on. A good bump coming out from Sloop John though to save the goal. Now Juicy with a good save on his own half. With only 15 seconds left here, it looks like Hardstuck is going to take this game too in rather dominating fashion compared to game one.
Maybe an opportunity here for a double tap, and double commit comes out instead. Like you said, this game two looks like it's about over here, and Hardstuck in a pretty convincing fashion taking game number 2, 3-0. This ball is still up though, might touch the ground right now, and Hardstuck do take game number 2 and advance to match point, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, your prediction's looking a little bit better than mine, but all it takes is one game and everyone starts sweating up again.
That is true. Very, very true.
Yeah, I mean,
oh man,
looking at the stats, I mean, it definitely reflects on Hardstuck's dominance there in that game too. Just not a whole lot else going on. Being Chalupa with 42 touches though. Oh my.
Hey, I think we have seen. Well, it's Stewie. I'm not too sure, but I've seen triple-digit touches before in a singular Rocket League game on this overlay. So that's all I'm gonna say. The bar is set pretty high, but I do think the touches stat gets a little bit inflated for people that can air dribble. So when you're air dribbling, I think that stat does get a little bit inflated. But like you said, Hardstuck, their stats, I mean, pretty even across the board. Each person getting a goal, a couple assists coming up from the guys, pretty even on the saves on the defensive portion as well. What I'm kind of confused about is how Bean Chalupa and the Real Robo have 0 shots, but they each have a goal. I don't know, maybe an own goal, or I don't know exactly what's going on there, but
yeah, there was. Well, yeah, I don't know. It had to have been.
I don't know how that works. Hopefully the overlay isn't broken, but
I'm gonna one up you real quick. I've seen quadruple touches in a game with Mountain Dew Fridge dropping 1,000 before. So I mean, seems like you don't play as much as I do.
Or Mountain Dew Fridge, but
yeah, exactly. Mountain Dew Fridge is the best.
But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 starting off hot here, and Bean Chalupa, Hardstuck Incorporated, picking up right where they left off. A beautiful pass off the sidewall from Drewski, and Bean Chalupa just gets a nice slot there. Gets the first one of game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, not much wavering here for Hardstuck. They just seem to be pretty dominant in all aspects of the field. But Nebula not going to count themselves out yet. A double commit does come out, though. That net is going to be open. Robo passes it over. Bean Chalupa gets the shot on, and Hardstuck going with nothing but passing plays in this game 3.
Yeah, like, I was going to comment on the same thing. What a great pass over from Real Robo. And this Real Robo Bean Chalupa combination is deadly. And then you tie in Drewski, who's been a fantastic third man on this team. And like I said before this series even started, Hardstuck gonna be a team to beat here in Division D, and I can't wait for their matchup against Version 2 if they haven't already faced them. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. There's too many teams to keep track of, but 40 seconds in, Hardstuck already up 2 goals. Real Robo might find another one, and he does. Puts it bottom right. And Hardstuck just 43 seconds into game number 3 already have 3 goals. They're looking to close this game out real quick here, man.
Yeah, the momentum is so much on their side, and they're taking full advantage of it. Just so dominant, and Nebula just can't quite find great clears out of their half. And even when they do, like here, Cam King gets a great clear out, and Robo just booms it right back in. And just like that, Hardstuck is back once again. I mean, Nebula just having trouble getting out of their defensive half.
Yeah, we kind of saw a similar thing in the last series we watched in Div C. When a team has such good midfield presence, like what Hardstuck Incorporated is doing right now, it's suffocating. There's not much you can do, and Drewski reads that one perfectly off the sidewall. And right now, this Nebula team just does not have an answer for this like pressure that Hardstuck Incorporated is bringing to the table right now.
Yeah, and Hardstuck's throwing so many passes out. It's so hard if you're a defender to read where the ball is going to go, where you think it's going to get hit, everything. I mean, Hardstuck is definitely playing their game, and they're playing it extremely well tonight.
Bean Chalupa getting a nice clear out, and that is going to be another one. It's just free. They're farming the goals now. Good clear out from Drewski, and an even better pop up right over Sloop John, who's not able to get back for that one. And Hardstuck Incorporated just looking so dominant right now. Nebula just doesn't have an answer.
No, they don't. I mean, granted, there still is a lot of time left, but Nebula has a big hole to dig themselves out of here. Ice is going to try. He does pop one up in the mid. Robo is there, though. That midfield presence is just extinguishing anything that comes out from Nebula here, and it's honestly a sad sight to see if you bet on Nebula.
Yeah, this one's a little bit awkward above this blue net. Real Robo trying to get another one. These guys look like they're showing no mercy right now as Bean Chalupa gets a beautiful touch up at the sidewall. Gets trying to get that one center. And again, just lurking off that sidewall. This ball has spent over this pretty much entire game so far in this blue half. And Loniza, oh my gosh, I thought he might have own goal there. Maybe an open net for Robo, can't put it on net. Maybe here for Drewski, but Sloop John able to get up and get this ball out. Hopefully they can find a touch out, but Real Robo doing such a good job. A good follow-up though from Loniza, and a good bump coming from KM King. But a nice clear coming out from Drewski. He's going to look to try and continue, but met by Sloop John in the midfield, but goes straight to his teammate, Real Robo. And looking a little bit awkward, Drewski trying to disrupt there to try and get a goal there. But halfway into game number 3, and Nebula finally starting to show a little bit of sign of life.
Yeah, Sloop John had a great pop over one in mid. It doesn't go exactly how the way he wanted to. Isa also gets a pop towards net, but that will get saved. Now Bean Chalupa with a big pop out. He is going to go up in the air. Does he have a touch? He does. Sloop John is back though. Safely throws it into his corner. Doesn't pick up the boost. Bean Chalupa takes a 50 with him. Cam King doesn't need a touch here. He doesn't get one, but Robo does not either, so the ball rolls back into the corner. Now Isaac going for the 50 on the wall. Double commit coming out here from Nebula. See if they can recollect from it. Drewski is off the wall, just floating, looking super awkward, like on 0 boost. Just trying to get something going. He does fake out KM King, and a good 50 comes out for Nebula. Bean Chalupa does have to get back, and he will. He tosses it into his own corner here, and does pick up that corner boost. Sloop John is up super early, but doesn't get a touch. Robo's going to throw that one back down. A good pop, but a good bump. Coming out on loan, Isa. Bean Chalupa going for a crazy double. Doesn't find the angle. But it's a pass out to Drewski. And Hardstuck just putting more and more nails into the coffin here.
Yeah, Bean Chalupa gets a beautiful touch into the midfield. Sloop John not able to find the touch on it. And man, I was so hyped up for Sloop John. I mean, he finds his first goal of the season, you know, in game number 1. But ever since then, it's pretty much just been crickets for this Nebula team, especially offensively. And yeah, it's just been complete dominance from this team. Bean Chalupa going up off the wall, maybe a ceiling shot again. He seems to, maybe we know what he's been practicing. And Loniza, not a lot of boost to work with here. Doesn't get a touch on Drewski, and this one might just find its way in. They find their 7th here, and a little bit of frustration. I can definitely see it coming out from this Nebula team. And it's frustrating, right? Because you keep it pretty close in games number 1 and 2, or at least semi-close, and then to go out like this, it's tough, man. It's absolutely tough.
Yeah, it really is, and I mean, just it's so frustrating not being able to get the ball out of your own half consistently. I mean, like we've said a million times tonight, Hardstuck's midfield presence is just crazy. And now Chalupa's going for clips. He gets the ceiling pass down to Drewski, but KM King is there. Now the question is, do we see a goal from Nebula for the Brazil? We do! Lone Isa throws one in. Hey, plenty of game time left.
Yeah. Setting up the Brazil, though. Drewski, I mean, they weren't giving it to him. I mean, Drewski was trying to get the save there. So you see Real Robo pull up the Brazil on his camera. Oh man, 45 seconds to go. Will the Brazil stay? That'll actually be our second Brazil of the night if it does last throughout the end of the game, which is absolutely crazy to think about. But 36 seconds to go. Lone Isa gets a nice clear out. Bean Chalupa trying to pass that one mid to Drewski, but nothing comes from it. Drewski a little bit awkward here, goes up and over that ball. Lone Isa gonna come flying in, trying to get a shot on net, but Bean Chalupa is the last man back. Gets a nice touch up. Bean Chalupa gets a nice touch down for his teammate, but he's just playing at a speed that I don't even think his teammates can handle right now. As KM King tries to get a shot on goal, rings one off the post. 8 seconds to go here. Looks like Sloop John will get a nice turn on this one. Maybe try and get one more for the road, but Real Robo shuts that one down. This one's going to find its way up over the end of the net here. Lone Isa, though. Great backboard defense. Real Robo tries to keep it up, but that one will touch the ground in an unfortunate loss there for Nebula. I mean, it was absolutely dominant from Hardstuck there in the last, portion there. But Nebula did keep it close in games number 1 and 2. So I don't think all hope should be lost for this Nebula team.
Yeah, absolutely not. They played really well tonight. Like you said, Hardstuck just did a really good job of keeping the ball out of their own half, and that was honestly a big part of it for the Hardstuck team. But nothing against Nebula. They played really well, and I have confidence in them for the remainder of the season.
Cool.
Yeah. But we're going to try and get these boys in. Looks like we actually have them all in already. You guys know the drill at this point. I mean, we've streamed every week and come out swinging, and you get your second win, second dub of the season so far. Huge congratulations. And first of all, toss it over to Bean Chalupa. We don't have your cam, unfortunately, but that is perfectly okay. What were off of last week's win, there was so much energy, and we saw it in the winners interview. How do you maintain that energy and continue into this week, and how do you just kind of maintain that same vibe and come out looking as dominant as you did here in week 3?
Throughout the week, we were trying to find some times to keep playing the game and just playing as much threes as possible. And always telling them, I was like, hey, we got him. I keep saying this every single time. It's comms. Comms are important in threes, especially like just being able to rotate off of each other. We were just like, we just got to keep going. We got to keep that energy because obviously last week was a win. We're like, we got to keep it rolling. We might have lost the first week, but that doesn't mean that we can't win every other week.
That is true.
And I'm hoping to go 6-1.
Ooh, love that. This is a question for the general team here. Who was your loss to in week number 1? Can you remind me?
Do you remember? That was TPB, yeah.
TPB. Okay. I mean, we mentioned it last week, right? And the storyline that I'm kind of creating, I don't know if it's real or not, is version 2, right? Last week, you guys looked absolutely dominant. Same thing this week. What's it going to take? I mean, anybody can answer that. What's it going to take to take down a team like version 2? Is there anything in mind? Have you guys started planning for that? I mean, or is it just going to be play your game and go with the flow?
I think just play our game, how it's going now. Like, just keep playing how we're playing and keep flowing.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I would do, right? I mean, you guys have been absolutely dominant the past couple of weeks. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I mean, Bean Chalupa, dude's going for stealing shots, and I don't want to know what your average speed is because you are zooming around the field at an insane speed. So like I said, I'm loving what I'm seeing from you guys. Adam, you have any questions for these guys?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot one over to Real Robo. We mentioned it talking in the stats. Whirl, I did find an answer, by the way. Whirl said, I don't know how Real Robo can't be number 1 with 53% shooting. It's because B. Crawford has 65%. But anyways, Robo, do you just do nothing but grind shooting packs all day or what? Because, dude, you just don't miss.
I don't know. Sometimes I just play some training packs. I'm trying to get a double touch, but we'll see how it goes.
I absolutely love that. I mean, like you said, you've just been shooting lights out with between. I do think the huge offensive pressure that you guys have. I mean, Bean Chalupa, your speed just creates so many chances, and if you can't put it in yourself, you at least get a great center, and then Real Robo comes in with an absolute slot, and then Drewski, you've been a great third man. You've held the fort down. I love the play style that you guys have kind of developed. I genuinely think that if any team is going to beat version 2, it is going to be you guys, and I'm creating that storyline, so you guys can't let me down. So
next week I'm pretty sure.
Is it next week?
Next week that we're playing against them.
Okay, so we're gonna maybe try and get that one on stream, because I personally really want to see that. But nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and end off this winners interview. Huge congratulations on yet another win. Like I said, broken record, but I love the way your guys' team is looking, and hopefully you guys can continue.
For sure.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for our second series of the night there between Hardstuck Incorporated and Nebula. Absolutely dominant stuff coming out from Hardstuck Incorporated. I love what I'm seeing in this team. I'm really excited. They're one of my new favorites to watch here. But Adam, I mean, what are your closing remarks here before we do go to an intermission?
I just want to say, I think this is shaping up to be one of the closest, most competitive DCRL seasons that we've had so far. I mean, everyone's just so close matched. Everyone's like MMR wise, we're so close together. We've had some heater series already, and we're only in week, was it 3, right?
Yeah, week 3.
Yeah, only week 3, and that is crazy. I'm loving everything I'm seeing, and there's a lot of good stuff to come yet. That's about it.
Yeah, one thing I do want to mention is I think there is hope for the Nebula team. I think they showed some great promise, especially in game number 1. I loved what I saw. I think that if they can get some way of finding some more offensive pressure, I genuinely think they can be a team that competes with the likes of, Hardstuck Incorporated or version 2. They need to find a way. Lone Isa is very, very talented. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, the guy led Division D last semester in goals per game, after playoffs. He has what it takes to compete here in Division D. I think they just need to find a way to make it work better for them, because right now it's just not clicking for those guys. So hopefully they can figure it out. But well played from both of the teams here tonight. Hardstuck Incorporated do close it out in a 3-0 fashion. We do have one more series on the night, a late game. It was going to start at 11, but might see if we can get this one underway a little bit sooner, but it might be until then. But we have one more. It's a Division A matchup between Triumvirate and Rob's Crocs. So we got Heat Assassin versus Stewie. I mean, these guys have known each other for a very long time. They faced each other a lot, whether it's in the NDSU and like the school leagues, or just throughout history in our inner, when it was just the NDSU days. So I'm really excited to see this matchup. So if you do want to see that one, stick around. But Adam, any last things here before we head out?
I don't think so. Besides, that next series is gonna be crazy. Everyone better be tuned in for that. Yeah, thanks for watching some Div D gameplay with us.
All right, guys, make sure you stay around for this next game, and we will be back as soon as possible.